Don't pay a quarter, don't pay a dime, don't pay a penny, don't waste your time. If half a penny is all he asks, don't give him any. Lay off his tracks, my half a penny is what he'll say. Still a steep price, just walk away.
Good early morning, folks, for cats and everything in between and beyond of my beloved Heat Nation. My name is Roy, and I'm going to host these post games pennies. This is kind of like a special edition, and I promise that what I have in my face is still a neck gator. I'm just trying to make it so that I'm not constantly swallowing it. And I know it looks ridiculous, and I know it looks funny. I'm not trying to hide my face or create a gimmick. It's just better than what my face actually looks like. Anyway, moving on. Miami Heat lose the 2 road games. We talked about the first road game, and then we had the road game against Orlando before we faced them on, I think, Tuesday, right? It's at 6 p.m. for the NBA Cup, which to me is useless, but we have to beat Orlando. So I don't care about the NBA Cup right now. We need to beat Orlando. And then with the loss at home, making us go down 10-3 at home. And I couldn't record yesterday because of not anything related to the games. As you can see, I was eager to record so much that I pretty much woke up at 5:30 in the morning. And as soon as I feel a little bit more conscious awake, I'm here. So there's likely to be a lot of mistakes in here. But no, let's try not to make it, because today I'm not going to talk too much about statistics. The only 2 statistics I'm going to talk about are the offensive ratings and the defensive ratings that haven't changed for Miami Heat. The defensive ratings we still rank at 5th. And the defensive rating we still rank at 5th, and the offensive rating still ranks at 13th. We moved down from 16.1, from 116.1 to 116. So Orlando, that beat us, they went down 1 spot after these 2 games. We didn't, but the games themselves show a different story. Now, before saying that, I want to say that I read Cooper Moorhead's article last night, this morning actually, saying the Miami Heat actually, for the first time or in a few games or something like that this season, they look like the Miami Heat last season. And and this was after, if this was this morning, this was after the Kings game. I actually have proof. I'm going to try to show that proof to the group, but in my Miami Heat new, not so new, and veteran fans, that's the name of the group on Facebook, I wrote that after the Orlando loss, I saw the Miami Heat play the same type of game that we played last season, meaning not a good game beyond the arc, not cohesive, right? Players running into one another, which is the typical summary of that last possession, right? Of whatever was happening there with Norm. And Norm then blames himself. Oh, I should have given Bam more. It's not Norm's fault, right? Norm taking the blame because he's a humble guy. It's a whole different story. But I don't think it was his fault. And if anybody's going to blame anybody, they're going to blame the minus 18 guy on the floor. That's a loss against the Magic, Khalil Weir. But I had my sights on somebody else. The one positive, actually, in the Miami Heat. So, fans can say whatever they want about me, and they'll be right. I don't know basketball, okay? But what I saw with Jaime Jaquez on the game against Orlando, by the way, this is his jersey I'm wearing. This is the jersey of the season for me. What I saw from Jaime Jaquez, excuse me, was indeed disheartening. Because what I saw him is driving to the basket. Rarely, he does have one gear, but at some point, he gets more figured out, even though he got out of his slump. And even though he scored 16 points, if I'm mistaken, right? 16 points against the Magic. And some of those points being crucial at some point to bring us back in the game. There was a point that was also missing and chasing after his misses. What do I mean when I say chasing after his misses? Because I don't know that's what you guys think. What I mean when I say chasing after his misses, I mean you missed the shot. On the next possession, you try to take pretty much the same one. And then you miss the shot, and then you try to get the same one. that was my observation, very basic observation, again, from a non-basketball knowledgeable person, just a guy who likes the game and likes to watch what's happening. This is what I saw Herro do when fans that criticized him were actually right. They're wrong this season. They're wrong this season in the 4 game sample that we saw. He wasn't being chased on defense. He wasn't being hunted. He didn't take shots in the second half of an important loss, right? The first of these 3 consecutive straight losses that we did. It's true. But I also think, I don't know if this was by design, but I don't know what people expect him to do. Give me the ball and I'll do it. That's maybe not Herro. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. People expect what I think, unfortunately, Herro expects of himself. And the same thing happens with Wiggins, right? Expecting Wiggins to be more than he is a mistake that I think even the staff is making. But of course, again, he does give us decent games. We don't have Herro, who's injured again, which is another question mark on his extension at the end of the year. Not because of his ability to give us what we need, by the way, but because of his unavailability, which is the best ability, right? So the best contribution to the team. So and that's of course something that has to be considered. But of course, we had Bam miss a couple of weeks, I think, because of toe rotation. We are going to miss Herro for a few games if this is something that happens. I didn't read the results of the MRI, so if there are news that I'm not aware of, I don't know. But the point is, we also didn't have Mitchell, and so that means that in a position that we are already kind of lacking, but we have the guy that has the best assist to turnover ratio in the league. Missing him is probably going to make a difference. It is a night of a back to back. That's what reading from Coops. Yeah, so the threes are not going to fall. But at the same time, it's like, okay, the Miami Heat not only slowed down their pace because of more on ball movement, as far as I saw. Although again, it was Jovic cutting that gap against the Kings a little bit with what I think 2 or 3 straight 3 points. Anyway, when the games get to the point where I find them horrible to watch, because what I see is basically us saying, "Hey guys, you can guys come score, and we're gonna figure out in the next possession." It's disheartening because this is exactly what last season looked like. So it's not like we don't have defenders. It's not like we don't have hustlers. This team is disorganized. This team is not synced up. And we are seeing that issue also coinciding with Norman Powell's several, at least 2 different injuries that he sustained that I think kind of played through up until this point, which is great. But how much of that sacrifice is going to bite us, or is already biting us in the back? I don't know. So that's which coincides with a dip in 3-point percentage, right? Not shooting wildly enough, right? We were shooting, between 19, 20 times or more, right, a game, and just making horrible 25% from beyond the arc in the second half, a little bit better in the first half, but still, not only are we not making those shots beyond the arc, we are not making the points that we need to make. We're missing free throws that we shouldn't miss because they're free throws, but that happens to every team. We have improved in that regard a little bit. But we're also, and that's the most important aspect of what I have to say, allowing the opponents to feast in our turf of the court. Again, that's a problem. So that's it for me. I'm not going to say anymore. I think I said enough. It's already a 9-minute video. I didn't even want it to be a 9-minute video. But that's it. I am disheartened. I'm not going to say again that I'm not afraid of any opponent, because now I am afraid of every opponent. Now, Roy, why are you going to be afraid now of every opponent? We played 20 games, more or less, right? With the same type of rhythm things kind of started slowing down after 20 games, and we are still at 24 games only, right? We still have 58 games to play, I think, if not mistaken. So it's not like, hey, we don't have time to fix the problems. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, I don't think that I can um, not be afraid of any teams anymore. I have to be afraid of them now. I have to be respectful of the fact that this team overperformed perhaps in the beginning of the season. That is a real possibility that I'm hoping not to be the case. And now they're performing a little bit under what they are truly, especially when we start playing teams that are over 500, and especially when you start playing losing to teams like the Kings in the fashion that we lost. However, it's not like the Kings don't have a team, and it's not like we didn't have a second night of a back-to-back and they weren't rested. So things, have to improve, undoubtedly so, and it's good that it's happening now, early in the season. I just hope to see that improvement, and I'm just not going to jinx it by saying I'm not afraid of it anymore. I'm very afraid of everybody now, or at least the opponents, and a lot of other things, but that doesn't come to question right now. Stay safe, stay dry, stay warm, stay as happy as possible in this very complicated world of ours, and let's go Heat.